It is so great to be back on the radio again. My name is Axel Lowe, and I am extremely excited to be a part of the River Crew. I mean, I've always loved this station. Aerosmith, Van Halen, Motley Crue, Led Zeppelin, Metallica. All of my favorites play here. Them and a ton more. I'm so excited about this next chapter of my life. Some people in Atlanta know me from my 30 years on the radio here, but a lot still don't. So here's my whole life story in the length of a song. I was born and raised in South Detroit. Sounds like a Journey song, a great Journey song, but it's the truth. Allen Park, Michigan, just outside of Detroit. Didn't stay long. My family moved to Chicago when I was 8 years old, so I don't have many memories of Detroit, but I do remember my dad taking me to a game to see Mark Fidrich pitch. That was pretty cool. Anyway, we didn't stay long. My family moved to Chicago when I was 8, suburb of Chicago. Little shout out to Naperville. I even went to the same high school as Bob Odenkirk. Love Better Call Saul. Although I never met him, Bob was a few years older than me. I lived in Naperville for the next 12 years. I played hockey, football, baseball, typical teen years. And then a friend of mine played me the Too Fast for Love cassette from Motley Crue. And it was So Long Sports, Grow the Hair Out, and Let's Rock. Crazy to think that one cassette changed my trajectory. I mean, we were so into Motley Crue. We were actually Motley Crue in our high school hairband competition. That's me as Mick Mars. I actually met Motley Crue way back then at the Rosemont Horizon, at least for a brief second. And with this job, I've been fortunate to meet him a bunch of times over the years. I did some time at Southern Illinois University, got worse grades than John Belushi. My friend worked in the records department and looked it up. He thought that was funny. My parents didn't. It was 1989 and my parents got transferred to Atlanta, so I decided to come along with them. And I remember driving south on 75, getting closer to Atlanta, hitting the seat button on the radio, and I finally found the rock station in town, the one everybody in Atlanta was listening to back in 1989. The Bon Jovi song ended, and then I heard the voice of Katie Kiley. That was the first DJ I heard, the first voice from Atlanta to greet me to my new home. And I've been a fan of hers ever since. And English Nick, who I've known for 2 decades, and Deborah Green even longer. This River Crew, I've known all of them for years, and I'm so excited to be a part of this family. Anyway, I finished school with the Music Business Management degree from the Art Institute of Atlanta. Speech from Arrested Development was also there at the same time. He actually formed his band at that school. The other person that I met was this graphic design major who I started dating and would eventually marry. More on her in a second. I never wanted to wear a tie. Had to find a job in the music business. So I interned at Arista Records my last year of college. I graduated and was about to be hired on at Arista when my boss told me that she needed 2 more months for this particular marketing job to open. She said, so in the meantime, you can help my friend over at the radio station Power 99. I knew nothing about pop music. I was a rock guy. But then again, this was only a temporary gig, and I still didn't have to wear a tie, so I was all in. I was there for a month, and then they suddenly flipped formats. Power 99 was gone, and the X was the new station, and they needed new jocks. And I got the opportunity of a lifetime. They threw me on the air. I fell in love with being a DJ and ended up in radio for 30 years. And I've loved every single minute of it. And now this right here, this is the pinnacle of my career, anchoring mornings on the river. Rewind for a quick second because the biggest part of my life is my family. Radio's a close second, but family first. That girl I met in college, Kelly, we got married in 1995 and have raised 2 really sweet and intelligent daughters, Ava and Vivian. I've lived in 2 different houses in Alpharetta and then Cumming, and now Sandy Springs is where I call home. I have a crazy frisbee-catching Havanese dog named Georgia. I love grilling, golfing, home improvement projects. Here's one of my latest. I even hosted a home improvement show on Turner South for 3 years called Southern Home by Design. I also enjoy a tasty beer, Harley-Davidson motorcycles. These are a few of my bikes over the years. Also love going to Sturgis. Big Braves fan for years. And I collect guitars. I love getting guitars signed. This is my Slash, Cheap Trick, Sammy Hagar, Joe Bonamassa, Tesla, and a few others. I've got 20 guitars, and I barely know how to play 20 songs. But I do a pretty good job of introducing them on the radio, and that's what matters in my world. Well, that's my story. I look forward to making your ride into work fun, and informative and, of course, rockin'. At your service every morning, 6 till 10 a.m. on 97.1 The River. Your friend, Axel Lowe.